as bad, so I'm using this. I'm gonna kind of switch back and forth between talking with you and talking with the athletes. One of the things that I started to realize when I was coaching is that we ask athletes to make decisions based on the cues that they're reading, but sometimes I'm not quite sure that the athletes are clear about A, which cue they're reading, and B, how to actually read the cue. So the objective of today is just to kind of bring some awareness around cue reading. Can you stay on the same side, please? Okay. All I want you to do, I'm going to pretend like I've not worked with these athletes before, and I just want to get some sane language. So I just want to start getting some common things that as we keep going that I can use some references and you guys know what I'm talking about. So right now between the two of you, I want you to be bumping the ball back and forth using a forearm pass. Just bump back and forth. As I ask you to change things, I'm going to ask you to change the trajectory of the ball. I'm going to ask you to go from a rainbow-like trajectory to a waterfall-like trajectory. When I say waterfall-like, I want you to kind of have this peak and the ball is going to drop. Make sense? Okay, bump back and forth, and I'm going to ask you to start changing trajectory. Good, waterfall. If you need to change your position of where you are, waterfall. Now while you're passing, I want you to make sure that you're midline passing. You're getting the ball pretty much in contact where your belly button is, and you're moving your feet to get in line with it. Perfect. Good. Rainbow trajectory. Keeping it midline, moving your feet. Good, as you're going now, I want you to only use your arms to make that waterfall trajectory now. Only your arms. Last one I'm asking you, I want you to use your legs and then your arms. I'm gonna call this full body. I want you to use your legs and then your arms. Beautiful. Bring it in for a second. What was it like when you only had to use your arms to create trajectory? What did you have to focus on? Angle? Okay, why angle? If I had a little circle around me, the more that I'm inside the circle, I'm more stable. Would you agree or disagree? Yeah? Okay. So the more that I'm in the circle, I'm stable. The moment I go outside my circle, I start to become less stable. Right now, I want you to pay attention to when you're playing. I want you to pay attention if Ben puts the ball over to Cicero. I want you to get to wherever the location of the ball is, and I want you to move your circle so that you can get there fast, and I want you to midline the ball. So make sure that you're moving your circle quickly to match the location of where the ball is going. You ready? Go. Good. Good. Perfect. Okay, stop. Now I want you to start. We split the court up because of the blue line. Perfect. We're going to say the blue line is here. This is the back end of the court, between the blue to the white, and then from the blue to the net is short. Right now, I want you only playing in the back half of the court. In the back half of the court. What is the trajectory like right now that you guys are using? Rainbow. Rainbow? Why? To push it further. Could I still get it deep if I did a waterfall-like trajectory? Yeah. Yeah, what would change? Say it again? Angle and power, okay. You were gonna say something else? You're gonna keep switching. When you put the ball over, you're a giver of a cue. When you're receiving it, you're the receiver of a cue. You gotta keep jumping back and forth. I want you to pay attention to giver and receiver of trajectory and location. Make sense? Go. Good. 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 Oh, that's nice. This time I want you, when you're bumping the ball, I want you to be jumping to the right. Jumping to the right. Okay, go. Good, jump to the right. Good. To your right, to your right.
You bump the ball, and then at the same time, your arms have to be at the right angle as you pass the ball.
Yeah. You had somebody on? No? Yeah.
I think there are two ways of doing it, because sometimes you jump and then use your arms. The other one is jump with your arms more stable.
Okay.
Like jumping to the ball and pass, which makes it easier.
Okay.
This was something I noticed when we were doing the short hoop as well, but I stopped caring as much about accuracy. Which was like, even when you told me to go short, I was way more concerned with accuracy than when you told me to go deep.
Okay.
Then I'm just like, all right, send this sucker over there. But also, like, I found I was jumping in a way where I was like frog jumping, that I had space for my platform. Like, I didn't want to jump straight legged or anything. I wanted to be able to still create an angle.
Okay, awesome. Good, nice and high, that's great. Good, that's great. Good. Good.
Thank you.
Good, stop. Bring it in. What was it like having to go high and low? Anything that you had to consider? Anything that you just pay attention to?
You have to put a lot more into the ball to pass
Yeah. How come you have to put more in when it's high?
less leverage on your arm.
Less leverage on your arms? Okay. What do you mean by that?
You're just used to like targeting your like
Yeah, so you're
make a change to the
perfect. So Cicero's saying that he actually had to pay a little bit more attention and not kind of go autopilot because he had to make some different changes. So the first cue that you started reading was where they were and the probability of where they could put the ball. So you start to eliminate immediately where the probability is of where they could put the ball. Great. In her hand, I want the ball to land in your hand. So when you're passing, I want you, once you've tracked everything, give the cue and pay attention to what angle and everything else you need to do to get it there. Go. Good, move that side. Move. Good. Beautiful. Good, stop. Bring it in for a second. And I would normally move everybody through, but I just want to kind of make sure that I get some other things. Passers, what did you have to pay attention to when you were giving the cues? When you're trying to get the ball to stand?
Angle.
Angle? Yeah. I thought you did a great job of getting where you needed to be and you dived into it. I loved the follow through.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, as soon as I started to try to get more height on it, I was trying to think about where the ball was relative to me, more so, in comparison to like, my initial pass. I was just getting there, hold it good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think definitely focusing more on your angle of your platform and making sure that it's angled higher so then you can get that ball higher to give your center that more time to think.
Yeah.
And keeping that ball kind of in front of them as well.
What was your preparation in order to pass, or even just before contact? Is there anything you wanted to pay attention to in order to create a higher quality pass to send? Everything, tell me.
The position of the server, his head, his
Sorry, pass it back. This is great stuff.
So, what I meant by everything, like the position of the server, his hand, if it's low or high, trajectory of the ball, if it's high or just sharp or cut, and have to be, let's say, quick, make decision where the ball is landing, so I can go there before the ball, make my angle, put the ball very high.
Okay, so your cue reading actually starts super early. You're paying attention to the body position, where the toss of the ball is, contact to the ball, and then as the ball's coming over, speed trajectory location. Great.